Hello there, Stampers! I've got a kind of magical sky happening today in my scene, and I thought I'd show you how to create this swirled sky. It's a lot of fun, and I put some palm trees in here from the Paradise Palm stamp set. This is a stamp set I've got quite a bit of use out of this year. It's from Stampin Up, called Paradise Palms, and it has all kinds of elements in it, but we're going to be using these palm trees right here for our card today. I'm going to show you how to create this swirled sky. We're going to get going. We're going to start with our main panel, and I'm going to show you how, step by step, how to do this. And this is basic white, and all the measurements for the card pieces are down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them all there, along with all the links to the products. And you can shop with me 24/7. The links will take you right to my online store. Now we're going to start by putting in some Balmy Blue in our background, and I'm going to use a blending brush for this. And we're just going to start here in the middle, and we're going to work our way out. We want some nice, good, strong color in here. You'll mainly see this color in the center of the card, but I like layering my colors. They just work so much better when you layer them, so you don't get any stripiness going on in your scenes. Stripiness by, you have like a definite circle of this and a definite circle of that. You're probably wondering, okay, well, she put Balmy Blue all over her panel. Why doesn't she just start with a Balmy Blue panel? Well, this makes a nice base coat. And then your other colors blend into that. Where if I just did the cardstock, they wouldn't blend as well. So there's my Balmy Blue. Now I'm going to go a little darker now. We're going to bring out some Pacific Point. And I'm going to use a blending brush for this also. I use blue so much that I use a brush for light blue, and then I have a brush for my darker blues. So that helps me from having to clean my brush so much on my scrap paper. So I'm going to make like a circle here in the sky. Have this light center here. We can put our moon right in there. These all turn out different depending on where your circle is in the sky. Okay, so now I'm going to get a little darker here, and I'm going to go to Night of Navy. And I'm going to add Night of Navy around here. I don't want to cover up all my Balmy Blue. So I have this nice dark sky, and I'm going to bring some of this into the bottom here too. And then before I get too far along here, I want to define where my water is. So I'm going to take a 3x5 post-it note, and I'm going to add it here across, leaving, I'm going to say, leaving almost an inch of cardstock showing beneath it. Okay. Then I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to make a distinct line here by going back and forth along this post-it note edge, and that will create our horizon line. So I have that good and dark. Then when you take that off, there's your horizon line already in there. And let's see, do we need any more of this? I'd like my sky nice and dark so the swirls show up really well. You can add some of this blue along the bottom here. Just don't get so dark that you're darker than that horizon line. You want that horizon line to be dark so you can see it. Okay, so that was our Night of Navy. So now we're going to get darker yet, and we're going to add some Memento Tuxedo Black, and I have one of my blending brushes I use for black. And I'm more or less going to hit just the outside corners here of the sky with this black. To get really dark. There we go. So now we're real dark here. And it's time for the fun. So, what I have, I'm reusing these. I die cut these out using the layering circle dies. And I have a 1 1/8 circle, and then a 2-inch circle and a 3-inch circle. And those were all cut with the layering circle dies and the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to start here. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to add some Whisper White. And I'm going to use a sponge to apply this. And what you're going to do, you're going to hold this and then go around the edge a little bit. And I like to kind of pounce it around and then smooth it out a bit, because you want this to be pretty strong. So it kind of defines that circle. Now we're not going to go all the way around. I went about 2/3 of the way around. And now we're going to bring in another circle. We're going to bring in that next circle, which is a 2-inch die. And I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to go ahead and continue on with this circle. So I have it right at the edge where I stopped. And we're going to continue on with that circle. And this will create a larger circle that will overlap. So we're going to go 2/3 of the way around here. Okay, see how that made the swirl then? And then we're going to bring in this 3-inch, this big 3-inch one. And we're going to put it where we ended the last one. I'm pouncing that color on there. Get it nice and dark. And it's going to go off the page, okay? And then without moving your circle, you can turn this around and you can bring that circle in up here and kind of have it end there. And there's your swirl. Okay, so we have our swirl in now. And wasn't that easy? And you could keep these and just reuse them over and over again. You don't have to continue cutting those circles every time you want to do a sky like this. Just keep those circles in like a little baggie, maybe in with your dies. And so that's our white. And then I didn't have a circle die small enough, so I used a 3/4 inch circle punch. So, and I cut this out of basic white, and I'm going to put it in here and glue that on. And that's just cut out of basic white, and you just need a smaller circle. So I used a retired punch, but hopefully you have circle under in your stockpile that is smaller than 1 inch. And you just add that there. Okay, now it's time for some trees, and I'm going to use the Memento Tuxedo Black for this. I like to ink my trees up really well because they've got to go over that white some. And then you don't want to go over your moon. you can overlap them. We're just going to get us some trees here at the bottom. I like to leave a bit of a gap there in the middle. But there's your scene. And now we're ready for our background panel. I have a Balmy Blue panel here that's 3 3/4 by 5. And I want to stamp some of these trees here at the edges just to continue on that scene on in my background panel. There we go. And now we're ready to put this together. Such a quick scene for such a great card. I have a Night of Navy card panel, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and I folded it in half for my card base. And inside I've added a basic white panel that's 4 by 5.25. And then I have a panel for the front that is also 4 by 5.25. And we're going to add our Balmy Blue panel. So let's glue that on real quick. That white really just is like a little trim for our scene. There we go. Just to kind of bring it out against that dark cardstock. And then we have our main panel, and we're going to add this on. Center this up here. There we go. And then this just goes on the front. You could certainly, there's lots of room that you can put a sentiment on the front of this card. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for yet, so I've left mine blank. And then I'll pop a sentiment on it when I'm ready to use it. But the main work is all done. Oh, I forgot one more thing. We got one more thing before we're done. I'm going to bring in a white gel pen, and let's add some stars in this white area here. And I'm adding some dots just all around where you've put that white. This is kind of fun. Make sure you're holding your cardstock tight against your table so you don't end up with check marks, that you actually have dots when you touch down. Because if your cardstock's kind of flopping around, you'll end up with checks. There we go. I almost forgot those. Those were important. All right. So now we have it all finished. We've got our nice starry sky. And there is our project for today. I hope you enjoyed this project and that it inspires you to get those inks out and get inky. Thanks for joining me. Bye.